All right, our next type of equation are acid-base reactions. And an acid-base reaction is a reaction between an acid and a base, as would be implied. We haven't covered acids and bases, and we won't really too much in this course. When you move on to higher level courses, you'll consider what are acids and bases in a little bit more in depth. For right now, we're just going to say that acids, they give H pluses, and bases, they accept H pluses. Remember, we said that H plus was just a proton because hydrogen is just a proton and electron. So when it becomes H plus, it loses that electron. And the most common base is hydroxide, OH minus. And it makes sense because OH minus plus an H plus, the charges cancel out, and our formula is H2O, which is a water molecule. So let's just take a look at an example of an acid-base reaction. The net ionic equation of all acid-base or all the acid-base reactions that we're going to look at is basically just H plus OH minus to form water as a liquid. So that would be our net ionic equations. Again, this H plus is your acid, the hydroxide is your base, and then we're going to get water as a product. And so in general, for this class, we're just going to basically look at neutralization reactions, which are acid-base reactions where they neutralize one another. So an example of this is H2SO4 plus KOH, case two of them, to give two H2Os as a liquid plus K2SO4 as an aqueous solution. So how did we know that this was an acid-base reaction? So you can look at it and maybe you can figure out that there's a transfer of H plus, but there should be simpler ways to do it. And just think about nomenclature, right? H2SO4 is sulfuric acid, right? Which tells you that it's the acid here. KOH is potassium hydroxide. So this OH minus is the base, right? Hydroxide is going to be our most common base. And they're going to form water. And then in general, you're also going to form some form of salt. Remember, salt is just an ionic compound. It doesn't have to be NaCl. In this case, it's potassium sulfate, so salt. So for our purposes, for acid-base reactions, we're always going to have an acid react with a base, which is always going to be hydroxide, to form water and some sort of salt.